Whoa, 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 whoa. Damn right, I'm a UPK nigga. Straight out of One West, no contest. We the best to the niggas who's living, trying to contend with the stress. Going through the test, no access, cause you oppressed slaves. Niggas is dying off in waves. Living in dirt, now it's a grave. Niggas cross-talk through the crosswalk or the white chalk over the bodies of roads that you paid. Americans killing us, saying they fearing us. Put the drugs in the hood, now my niggas delirious. Put a gun in my face, all because of my race. Click, boom, flash, put some Skittles and murder my ass. Like a sheep to the slaughter, heart beating harder and harder. Baptized with these words, never dipping in water. So now we pray to the Father. Give strength to the Father that's looking for the marauder. That's fucking taking our daughters, nigga. It's wartime. Lights up, nigga, showtime. Got the green light on that ass, yeah, go time. Either boot up, shut up, but get your ass up. Cause we ain't got time to be playing this all fucked up America. Heaven for the thief, hell for the slave. Reaping what you sow, meaning giving back what you gave. For a clean slate, you try to imitate. You was always fake. America, every city, state, this is your fate. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America.
Someone on the timeline, giving the rhythm to expose the intricacies of things. Five, doing mine, I ain't shit. But getting lit is a pastime, so in a minute I'ma pass out. I hope you get it. If you didn't, you can crash flying. Kinda simple if you feel it, pass your last line. But it will confuse a bad mind. A damn shame. That's the exact thing. Gonna get your ass fried. Bombs from the sky, rich devil lullaby. Then the nigga fly. Hope you got an alibi. Bombs from the sky, rich devil lullaby. Damn, the missiles high. I can see him from the parking lot. Never finna ball out. Devils finna fall out. All our warfare, nightmares in the big house. They murdered us for years and thinking shit was gonna turn around. Pride never learned. This motherfucker burns down. Yelled in the streets. Told them to breach. All of you angels bring woe to this beast. You room for a time, but we play for keeps. I pray to my Father, bring woe to this beast. Remember them times we hung on them trees. All of you nations bow down to your knees. Remember them ships, they brought us in fleets. Fuck they Apollo, bring them the heat. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, whoa, to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America.
God is going to destroy this empire, man. You about to see famine in this place. You think them fires in California is bad? That's just the beginning of what the Lord is about to do. Because you've been evil to the Lord's people. You've been wicked to the Most High's children, man. You've been destructive to the 12 tribes of Israel. Let me tell you something, black man. You got to put on your strength now, man. Put back on your strength and might, black man, because your day is coming. Your day is coming because the Lord is going to bring judgment on this earth.
Welcome to the serve the Lord in the priests and prophets in the fight for Christ in the go to war for the straight soldiers in the go to ground for the all my brothers in the become a man in the follow orders in the gonna die for the gonna live for the change my life in the real niggas in the spread the truth in the stay flammable in the ISUPK. The Israelites score universal practical knowledge. Since 1969, we've been truth that blacks and Hispanics are the real Jews of the Bible. We are under Commander Giuliani. It's a 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 it's a
Baby mama say you ain't shit, but really you want it. Been in jail for shit you ain't did, but nigga you want it. Bad as fuck, can't deny it, cause sister you want it. That nigga left you for a side chick, but really you want it. You want it, 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 you want it. You brought it. They had a plan up for you and me. They put dope in our communities. Had it plotted out to ruin our seed. Fucking up the unity. I met a girl on the north side. Used to kick it with her own duty shit usually. Her daddy was a crack fiend. Mama wasn't there. Now I seen what it could do to me. Meanwhile, house on the real estate. New car on the interstate. Dripping from the pulpit. Money going into play every Sunday. Another picture got a jet off the shores of the Pompeii, off the runway. While the people still hungry, dying by the gunplay, by the one way. To those that were born there, families destroyed and got torn there. The crack epidemic was chemical warfare. Raised on a black household by the CIA. They admitted in a 400-page document that they brought it by the boatload many days. Hey, wonder why I speak on it. I gotta put this heat on it. It's so strong in the city, if you get a chicken, better put a leash on it. Everybody from the high school done lost about 3 homies. The way they treat us not cool, everybody went to sleep on us. Baby mama say you ain't shit, but really you want it. Been in jail for shit you ain't did, but nigga you want it. Bad as fuck, can't deny it, cause sister you want it. That nigga left you for a side chick, but really you want it. 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 You want it.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Shalom Yahweh, Shem Yah Shah, Braka Thumb to the Akim, Shalom Yahweh, Shamar Allah Thumb by Shem Yah Shah to all the Akwathim. Clap it up for the Lord, man. Today's the Lord class, man. Lord class.
That's
all
right.
Big ups to Priest Norsa 500 Sha'al out of headquarters, right? For allowing me once again to install the 11th segment of the God-fearing of the Women's Scriptures series, man. Big ups. Let me give my roll call, man. Salakia Akim Wakathim, San the San and Sheep Babu Kashor. All right, big up to Adrian Johnson, man. Big up to UPK Zaria Love. Big up to Dorothy Davis. And big up to Trooper Harya Allah, man. Big ups to you, brothers. Big up to the Akim and Wakathim, man, for supporting, man. Like, share, and subscribe, Israel. Like, share, and subscribe. You know, make some suggestions. Make some requests. Ask some questions. Make me work, Israel. I took an oath. I took an oath for you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. Big ups to the class, Hebrew Academy, class of 2022, man.
That's
Big ups
right.
to you
That's
warriors,
right.
man. All right. From the four corners of the earth, man. It is our time to reign, man. It is our time to conquer. We want dominion. All right. Big ups to the Alawapium, the Sarunium, right? The officers, the troopers, the young men, the Akwathium, man. Big ups to you. As you know, right? As always, I got something heavy for you, man. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, man. All right. So in today's series, right? Slaga, I don't want, if I may. Can you give me the Zondervan's Pictorial Bible Dictionary, Bible Kashaw?
Go on.
Page 605. 605. All right. So lately, right, you know, I had a premonition, man. I had a premonition. I take it as a sign of the Most High, right? We've heard it in the past, you know, you can't make a whore into a housewife, right? And I decided to make the 11th segment based right on that topic right there, man, about prostitution, about whoredom, okay? And I know we're all Israel here, and there is no northern and southern kingdom, right? But I being a Ephraimite, right, and a certified priest, right, I would fall under the northern kingdom. But being under commanding General Hana, right, at a 1 West 125th Street, right, being an Israelite myself, right, I have to bring this out, man, right? We're looking for the word whore, Bible Kashaw.
God. It's in this Don DeVan's Compact Bible Dictionary. Page
What?
605.
The water.
Whore.
What?
Whore.
What?
Whore.
Man, listen, man. This is something that plagues blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indian men and women. All right, because men can be whores too. Read on.
A woman who habitually commits adultery,
Hey, what?
adultery,
Read on.
or fornication.
Or what?
Fornication,
Read on.
especially for hire.
Especially for what?
Hire.
Read on.
A prostitute,
Hey, what?
prostitute,
Hey, what?
prostitute,
Black, Hispanic, and Native American women have been what?
prostitute,
Black, Hispanic, and Native American men have been what?
prostitute,
Yeah, men can be hoes too. Read on.
harlots,
What?
harlots.
That's the biblical word for harlots. Read on.
It is noteworthy,
It is what?
noteworthy
Read on.
that in a very large proportion of cases, the word is used for idolatry.
The word is used for what?
Idolatry.
And the northern kingdom, right? They're known for idolatry, man. All right, which is a deadly, deadly, deadly sin, man. All right. The most high power of Israel is a jealous God, man. He is a jealous power. Read on. I'll read it. I'll read it for you. That was page 605. Bear with me, Israel. Page 605 in the Zondervan Bible Pictorial in the Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary, Bible Kashaw. You should have this with your precept books, with your sword, your apocryphas. If you don't carry a 1611, let me get there with you. Salaka Israel, 605. Right? Salakia Israel. Most High in Christ. No sweat. Read on, sir.
God. Whore. From the top. A woman who habitually commits adultery or fornication, especially for hire, a prostitute, harlot. It is noteworthy that in a large proportion of cases that the word is used for idolatry. The two words adultery and idolatry can be identically defined as taking the love which belongs to one and giving it to another.
Read that one more time.
Con. The two words adultery and idolatry can be identically defined as taking the love which belongs to one and giving it to another.
Mm-mm-mm.
The practice of selling daughters into whoredom was not known. The practice of selling daughters into whoredom was not unknown in Israel.
Was not what?
Unknown in Israel.
Was not unknown in Israel, man. All right. Any more on that?
Con. But was forbidden of the Most High.
But was what?
But was forbidden of the Most High.
Right. Read on.
Whoredom was a capital crime.
Whoredom was what?
A capital crime.
A capital crime, man. Whoredom being a harlot, right? Which is the seasoned word for prostitute, for a whore, right? A harlot is a biblical term for whore and prostitute. Was a what?
A crime.
A capital crime, man. All right. Read on.
That's the end of it.
That is the end of it.
Gone.
No sweat. All right. So, with that being said, right, now that we brought out the definition, right, of whoredom, of prostitution, of being a harlot, right? Understand that Israel, right, all tribes are guilty of being a harlot, right? Salakia, can you bring out the word covenant, Baba Kashaw, in the same dictionary?
Gone.
All right. Israel, see, sex is marriage in the scriptures. You know this, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, right? But marriage is a contract, right? And Israel as a whole, right, was in a covenant relationship. You understand? With the Most High power, right? We're going to get you the definition of covenant, right? So that you understand proper context, right? And what Israel did was they rebelled. They committed adultery. They became harlots unto the Most High, right? See, like I said in the beginning, you've heard time and time again. We're in New York, right? Shout out to Yonkers. Shout out to Harlem.
Right.
BX, stand up. Washington Heights, stand up. Right?
Brooklyn
in the house, stand up. Long Island, Staten Island, right? All ISUPK schools under commanding Jerry Yohana throughout the four corners of the earth, stand up. All right. Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shah to you all. All right. You have heard, right, that it is a deadly sin to be a prostitute, right? Commit adultery. You get stoned in the scriptures. Back in biblical times in the Old Testament, you would get stoned to death, right? You have heard you can't make a hoe into a housewife. Well, what if I can prove you wrong, Israel? What if you overlook something in the scriptures, right? You got the definition, sir?
Gone.
You can read it when you got it.
Zondervan's Compact Bible Dictionary, page 118. Covenant, a mutual agreement between two or more persons to do or refrain from doing certain acts.
Read that from the top, Bubba Kishore.
Covenant, a mutual agreement between two or more persons to do or refrain from doing certain acts. Sometimes the undertaking of one of parties.
One of party. And Israel was in a covenant relationship with the Most High Power, right? All right, drop that. Give me the first precept. You know what I want. Bubba Kishore. It's been a trend on Facebook, right? And out here in the 5 boroughs, right? We've heard it time and time again. You can't make a hoe into a housewife, right? But it's not just females, man. Men can be hoes too, man. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man can be hoes as well. You understand? And the 12 tribes of Israel is no exception to the rule. You can read it when you got it, Bubba Kishore.
Come on, Salakia. Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 32. Now, according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt,
Read on.
which my covenant they break.
Which my what?
Covenant they break.
Now understand that the 12 tribes of Israel, right? The nation of Israel was under a covenant, right? They were a covenant. They were in a covenant relationship with the Most High Power, okay? And we have broke the covenant, right? Or else there wouldn't be no Deuteronomy chapter 28. You understand? Read on.
Although I was an husband unto them,
Although they what?
a husband unto them,
A husband, right? And that would be your head, right? A woman's head is the husband, and the husband's head is our King Yahushua, and our King Yahushua head would be the Most High Power, would be Yahweh. Understand? Read on.
verse 33. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel.
With the house of who?
Israel.
With the house of blacks.
Israel.
With the house of so-called Hispanics.
Israel.
With the house of so-called Native American Indians.
Israel.
Read on.
After those days, saith the Most High.
After what?
After those days, saith the Most High.
Read on.
I will put my law in their inward parts.
I will put that what?
My law in their inward parts.
Pay attention, Israel. Read on.
And write it in their hearts.
And write it what?
In their hearts.
Now, Salakia, you already know that the heart is the mind. Okay. When you read about heart in the scriptures, right? It's the mind. Understand? Any more on that?
And will be their power.
And be what?
Their power.
Will be their God, man. Will be their power, man. Okay. Any more on that?
And they shall be my people.
And they shall be what?
My people.
My people, man. You see how here in captivity, right, in spiritual Babylon, I believe it's the $10 bill. It says, we the people. What the scriptures say?
It will be their power, and they shall be my people.
And shall be my people. Right. So-called his black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, right? You are the Most High Power's people. You understand? And that's worth something. All right. Now getting back on any more on that, sir?
Nah. No.
Now you can drop that. Give me the book of Hosea, man. The book of Hosea. Right, so you've heard it in the world, right? That you cannot make Salakia Israel. You cannot make a hoe into a housewife. So how about I challenge you in spiritual warfare and prove you wrong? Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, black woman, Hispanic woman, Native Indian woman. How about I prove you wrong that the ISUPK have been making housewives out of harlots, out of prostitutes. Book of Hosea, chapter 1, verse 1, Baba Kashaw.
Gone.
See, the book of Hosea, right, is metaphoric, right? Metaphoric. Do you know what metaphoric means? Do we have a definition on what a metaphor is? Right? What parts are? You have a Bible dictionary? You have a Webster's dictionary? You have a dictionary? No sweat. Hosa Shaw, Baba Kashaw. Can you give me the definition of metaphor, Baba Kashaw?
Gone.
All right, so pay attention, right? You're gonna have to have a lot of seasoning, right, to understand what I'm about to bring out. Okay, it's a lot going on about whoredom, right? We already know we're in Babylon. Babylon was the mother of all whores, okay, and the behaviors of the so-called 12 tribes of Israel, right? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, right, have been learned behaviors of whoredom by our oppressors, man. All right. You can read it when you got it, Baba Kashaw.
Gone. Metaphor. A figure of speech in which
A what?
a figure of speech.
A figure of what?
Speech.
Now here in Babylon, right? This is the land of what?
Speech.
Of speech. Of freedom of speech. Right? Of freedom of speech. Read on.
In which a word or phrase is applied to an object or action to which it is not literally applicable.
It's not literally applicable. But in this context, it is literally applicable. Right? This is a metaphor. Read on.
That's it on that.
No sweat. All right, you can drop that. Give me the book of Hosea, Baba Kashaw, chapter 1, verse 1.
Gone.
Now understand, right? The first precept we brought out, right? As Israel is being led out of Egypt, right? As the Most High Power was a husband to our nation committed adultery.
Right.
Our nation committed whoredom.
Right.
They spit in the face of the Most High Power.
Right.
Right? Read it when you got it, Baba Kashaw.
Gone. Hosea, chapter 1, verse 1. The word of the Most High that came unto Hosea.
Salakia. Stop right there. Now, Hosea, in this context, if you know anything about Hosea, the book of Hosea, right? Hosea is a depiction of the Most High Power, right? And he had a wife by the name of Gomer. And Gomer in this metaphor is a representation of God's chosen people, man. All right. She's a representation of the 12 tribes of Israel. Read on.
The son of Beeri, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah.
Now, those were the leaders of the southern kingdom. Read on.
And in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash,
The son of Joash, right? Which was all northern kingdom. Read on.
king of Israel.
King of what?
Israel.
Read on.
Verse 2. In the beginning of the word of the Most High by Hosea, and the Most High said to Hosea, go, take unto thee a wife.
Take unto thee a what?
A wife.
A what?
A wife.
A wife. Not a whore, right?
a wife
Read on.
of whoredom.
Of what?
Whoredom.
Of what?
Whoredom.
Read on.
And children of whoredom.
And then what?
And children of whoredom.
No, children of righteousness,
Whoredoms.
children of the promise,
Whoredom.
children of the covenant.
Whoredoms.
Read on.
For the land have committed great whoredom, departing from the Most High.
For Israel has done what?
Departing from the Most High.
For blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians have done what?
Departing from the Most High.
See, metaphorically, right? Gomor was depicted as a picture of the Most High power, Yahweh, right? And Israel, right, is a depiction of his wife Gomor, right, who has lusted and committed adultery, was promiscuous in their lust. Read on.
Verse 3. So he went into Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim, which conceived and bare him a son.
And bear him what?
A son.
Read on.
Verse 4. And the Most High said unto him, call his name Jezreel.
What?
Jezreel.
Read on.
For yet a little while, and I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu.
Of Jehu. Read on.
Jehu. And will cause to seize the kingdom of the house of Israel.
Will cause what?
And will cause to seize the kingdom of the house of Israel.
Of the house of Israel. So once again, I brought it out in the last segment, right? If you listen or watch, right, the dialogue between Commanding General Yohana and Sarnetta, right? Commanding General Yohana brought out that the Most High power beat the piss out of Israel, right? Read on.
Verse 5. And it came to pass at that day that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel.
Read on.
Verse 6. And she conceived again.
And she what?
Conceived again.
Now this is Gomer, right? About to conceive the second child onto Hosea. Read on.
And bare a daughter. And the Most High said unto him, call her name Salakia, Lo-Ruhamah.
Damn right, Lo-Ruhamah. Read on.
For I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel.
He will never, right, no more, henceforth, right, have mercy on so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American men, women, and children. You understand? Read on.
But I will utterly take them away.
You will do what?
Utterly take them away.
The Most High will do what?
Take them away.
Read on.
Verse 7. But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah.
You have mercy on the what?
The house of Judah.
On the house of Judah. Read on.
And will save them by the Most High their power. And will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen.
Read on, sir.
Verse 8. Now when she had weaned Lo-Ruhamah, she conceived and bare a son.
So here it is, this wife, right, named Gomer, right? This is her third child of the prophet Hosea. Read on.
Verse 9. Then said the Most High, call his name Lomi, for ye are not my people.
For ye are what?
Not my people.
Liho what?
For ye are not my people.
Li Omni, was that the name?
Lo-Ami.
Lo Ami, right? Then said Yahweh, call his name Lo Ami, right? This is the third son, the third son of this woman, right, named Gomer. And the Most High said, read on.
For ye are not my people.
For ye are what?
Not my people.
Read on.
And I will not be your power.
And I will not be your power. All right, so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indian men, women, and children, right? If you transgress the laws of the Most High Power, right? If you break that covenant, right? That spiritual covenant relationship, right? That we have with the Most High Power, if you break that, you are not His people. If you drop your sword
Right.
as a coward,
Right.
you are not His people.
Right.
All right. If you commit whoredom, you are not His people. If you kill His heritage, His children, you are not His people.
Right.
Read on.
Verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea.
As the what?
Sand of the sea,
Go count that. What next time you're at the beach? Read on.
which cannot be measured nor numbered.
Which we what?
Which cannot be measured nor numbered.
Yeah, figure it out by next Friday. Read on.
And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people,
Yo, what?
not my people,
Read on.
there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power.
Ye are the what?
The sons of the living power.
Ye are the daughters of what?
The living power.
Read on.
Verse 11. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head.
And appoint themselves what?
One head.
Read on.
And they shall come out of the land. For great shall be the day of Jezreel.
Of what?
Jezreel.
Of Israel, man. Read on.
Con. Hosea chapter 2, verse 1. Say ye unto your brethren,
Unto who?
your brethren,
Your neighbors.
your brethren,
So-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, man. Read on.
are me,
Who?
are me,
Read on.
and to your sisters, Ruhamah.
Ruhama. Read on.
Verse 2. Plead with your mother,
Plead with who?
your mother,
Plead with who?
your mother,
Plead with who?
your mother.
Read on.
Plead, for she is not my wife,
For she is what?
not my wife,
She is what?
not my wife.
Read on.
Neither am I your husband.
Neither is what?
Am I your husband?
Read on.
Let her be therefore put away her whoredoms.
Let her do what?
Put away her whoredoms.
That's that transgression of the covenant, man, of the law, statutes, and commandments, man. Read on.
Out of her sight,
Out of what?
her sight,
Read on.
and her adulteries
And
from
her
between her breasts.
and her what?
Adulteries from between her breasts.
Come on, man. Read between the lines, Israel. Read on.
Verse 3. Lest I strip her naked,
At least you do what?
strip her naked,
Read on.
and set her as in the day that she was born.
And when you're born, man, you're in your birthday suit, man. You're butt naked, as they say here in New York. Read on.
And make her as a wilderness,
As a dearth, man. Right? As a desolation. Read on.
and set her like a dry land.
As a what?
Dry land.
Ain't no life in dry land, man. Read on.
And slay her with thirst.
And slay her with what?
Thirst.
And when you know, Israel, right? Black, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, man. That's one of our curses. We go to our enemies in nakedness and in thirst and in hunger. Man, read on.
Verse 4. And I will not have mercy upon her children.
You have not what?
Mercy upon her children.
And your children get it too, man. When you transgress, when you want to be a prostitute, right? When you want to be a harlot, when you want to transgress the laws, right? You're going to get cursed. You're going to get punished. You're going to get your just due. You can't have your cake and eat it too, right? Read on.
For they be the children of whoredoms.
They be the what?
children of whoredoms.
The children of Horam. Now, if I've lost you thus far, right, understand that the Most High Power beseech the prophet Hosea, right, to not get just any wife, but a wife of whoredoms, man. He beseeched the Most High, Salaki, the Most High beseeched Hosea to get him a prostitute, man, to get him a harlot, all right? And this harlot by the name of Gomer, right, was very promiscuous, just like Israel was. Israel indulged in idols, right? Israel indulged in the worship of Baal. Israel indulged in the customs of the heathen, right? Read on.
God. Verse 5. For their mother had played the harlot.
For their mother has what?
Played the harlot.
The mother being the leaders, man. Read on.
She that conceived them.
She that what?
Conceived them.
Read on.
Have done shamefully.
Have done what?
Shamefully.
Abominations. Read on.
For she said, I will go after my lovers.
Go after her lusts. Read on.
That give me my bread and my water.
That give me my what?
My bread and my water.
Amen. Class of 2022, you know all about bread and water, right? Read on.
My wool and my flax.
My what?
My wool and my flax.
Read on.
Mine oil and my drink.
My oil and what?
My drink.
There you go, man. Here's the oil right here, right? The oil for the anointing and the yan, right? The drink, right? Read on.
It's like, if I may, this scripture is so heavy what you're bringing out, because when it says, I will go after my many lovers, you ever heard of women in the world having men for 1 day out of the week?
That's right.
Like on Monday, a woman would have a man just to drive her around going shopping.
Right.
Tuesday, vacation.
Right.
Wednesday, getting jewelry, so forth, so on. You understand that that's heavy right there. This is what the scripture's talking about.
Damn right.
God.
Read on.
Verse 6. Therefore, behold, I will hedge up thy way with thorns and make a wall.
And make a what?
A wall.
Read on.
That she shall not find her paths.
That she shall do not what?
Find her path.
Read on.
Verse 7. And she shall follow after her lovers.
After her lusts, man. After her demons, man. Read on.
But she shall not overtake them.
But she shall what?
Not overtake them.
Read on.
And she shall seek them.
And she shall do what?
Seek them.
Read on.
But shall not find them.
But shall do not what?
Find them.
Read on.
Then shall she say, I will go and return to my first husband.
To my what?
First husband.
Hey, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. That's Israel, man. That's the 12 tribes of Israel, man.
Right.
That is the world, right? That the Most High Power gave his only begotten son, our King Yahushua, right? Our first husband is our power, man. The power we fear, man. Read on.
God. For then was it better with me than now.
For what?
For then was it better with me than now.
Read on.
Verse 8. For she did not know that I gave her corn and wine and oil and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal.
Which they prepare for who?
Baal.
Man, and Baal, man, if you know anything about the scriptures, right? If you know anything about our forefathers, right, and our nation, man, they worship Baal. They was worshiping Baal as Moses, right? As Masha was up getting the law from the Most High Power, man. Read on.
God, verse 9. Therefore will I return and take away my corn and the time thereof.
And the what?
And the time thereof.
Read on.
And my wine and the season thereof.
And the season thereof, man. And this is the wine, man. This is the wine right here. Right? This is the wine right here. This is the yayan, man. Read on.
And will recover my wool and my flax given to cover her nakedness.
To cover her what?
Nakedness.
Read on, sir.
Verse 10. And now I will discover her lewdness in the sight of her lovers.
Drop down to verse 11, Baba Kishore.
Come, verse 11. I will also cause all her mirth to cease.
Or her what?
Mirth to cease.
Read on.
Her feast days.
Her what?
Feast days.
Read on.
Her new moons.
Her what?
New moons.
Read on.
And her Sabbaths.
And her what?
Sabbaths.
And read on.
And all her solemn feasts.
Hey, Salakia, man, that's the Most High Power is only talking to Israel, man. He wasn't talking to any other nation. Only Israel has portrayed the harlot against the law, statutes, and commandments, man. Read on.
Gone. Verse 12. And I will also, and I will destroy her vines and her fig trees, whereof she hath said, these are my rewards that my lovers have given me. And I will make them a forest, and the beasts of the field shall eat them.
And the beasts of the field shall eat them, man. Read on.
Verse 13. And I will visit upon her the days of Baalim.
Of what?
Baalim.
Of Baalim, man. Of Baalim. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, man, we're still celebrating Baalim. We're still worshiping Baalim, man. Baal. Read on.
Wherein she burned incense to them, and she decked herself with her earrings and her jewels, and she went after her lovers and forgot me, saith the Most High.
Right. Her idols, her lust, her desires, right? Forgot about her head, right? Our head is the Most High Power of Israel. He is a jealous power, man. He is a jealous God, right? We are in a contract, just like how sex is marriage, and that's a big commitment, right? The 12 tribes of Israel, right? It's the world of the Most High, man. Only Israel has he known, man. Only so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians has he known, man. And the Most High Power has wants us to stop being harlots, stop being prostitutes, man. All right, big up to Commanding General Yohana.
That's right.
And the generals.
Right.
Right. Because since 1969, right, you can see this prophesied in your face, man. Until what year, what pagan year we in, sir? 2022.
God.
Right. Since 1969, this nation has not only disowned the Most High Power, right, but they forgot about tradition and customs and rank, right, and heritage,
right,
and they flat out left and abandoned and disrespected and spit in the face of the Most High Power by abandoning our Commanding General Yohana, man, because they wanted to go into their idols and their lust, man. Read on.
God. Verse 14. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her.
Drop that. Give me chapter 4, verse 1, Bob. Sure.
God.
For time's sake.
Hosea chapter 4, verse 1. Hear the word of the Most High, ye children of Israel. For the Most High have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
Drop down to verse 6, Baba Kishore.
God. Verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
My people are what?
Destroyed for lack of knowledge.
And that lack of knowledge is the covenant that the Most High Power has shared with us, Hispanic, so-called Blacks, Hispanic man, Hispanics, and Native Indian man. Read on.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
Because thou has what?
Rejected knowledge.
Read on.
I will also reject thee.
You also do what?
Reject thee.
Read on.
That thou shalt be no priest to me.
Thou shalt be not what?
No priest to me.
Read on.
Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power.
The law, man, the law, statutes, and commandments of thy power, man, of the most high power, Yahweh, right? You can drop this, sir. You can drop that. Give me the book of Leviticus, Baba Kishore. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 29. You can read it when you got it.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 29. Do not prostitute thy daughter.
Do not do what?
Prostitute thy daughter.
Don't prostitute thy sons.
Thy daughter.
Don't prostitute thy children.
Thy daughter.
Don't forget the covenant, man. Don't forget the law, statutes, and commandments. Read on.
To cause her to be a whore.
To cause her to be a harlot, right? Read on.
Lest the land fall to whoredom, and the land become full of wickedness.
Full of what?
Wickedness.
Look at us now, Israel. Look at us now, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, right? We are the whores, man. We are in the land of wickedness, man. Right? Read on.
God. Verse 30. Ye shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary.
And
I
do
am
what?
Ye shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary.
Read on.
I am the Most High.
We got blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, man. We're destroyed for lack of knowledge. We don't acknowledge that the Most High power has set for us the Sabbath. We worship Cesar Borgia on a Sunday, man. We're out here forgetting our feast days, our high holy days, our Lord's statutes and commandments, forgetting that we are a holy people unto the Most High power, man.
Right.
All right. Any more than that, sir?
La.
Drop that. Let's go back to the Old Testament. Give me another example of prostitution, man. Give me the book of Genesis chapter 38. All right. And this is all on Judah, man. Wasn't all the prophet, all of our King David, King Solomon, even our King Yahushua out of tribe of Judah, right? This is Genesis chapter 38, right? It speaks about Judah's wickedness, man. All right. You can read it when you got it, Baba Kishore.
Start at verse 1.
You can start at verse 1. Let me get there with you. Any questions online?
La.
Any questions in the room? Come on, Israel. Give me some work, man. Give me some work, Israel. Read on.
Genesis chapter 38, verse 1. And it came to pass at that time that Judah went down from his brethren and turned into a certain Adullamite.
A what?
Adullamite.
Read on.
Whose name was Hira.
Hira. Right. Give me verse 6, Baba Kishore.
God.
Let's get to the meat of this for time's sake.
Verse 6. And Judah took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. Verse 7. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Most High, and the Most High slew him.
And the Most High did what?
Slew him.
So blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, man, if you're wicked, the Most High is gonna deal with you, man. All right. You transgress the law, statutes, and commandments, man. If you're a seed of Israel, right, and you're a wicked individual, the Most High is gonna deal with you, man. He gonna off you. All right, he gonna slew you. He gonna kill you, man. He gonna give you your just due. Read on.
Verse 8. And Judah said unto Onan, go in unto your brother's wife and marry her.
And do what?
And marry her.
Read on.
And raise up seed to thy brother.
And do what?
Raise up seed to thy brother.
Read on, sir.
Verse 9. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass, when he went in unto his brother's wife, that he spilled it on the ground.
He did what?
Spilled it on the ground.
Man, this brother is some wicked stuff right here, man. Read on.
Lest that he should give seed to his brother.
Bring it on home, sir.
Verse 10. And the thing which he did displeased the Most High.
Did what?
Displeased the Most High.
This man didn't follow no orders, man. All right. This person had no brotherhood, man. Read on.
Wherefore he slew him also.
He did what?
Slew him also.
The Most High did what?
Slew him also.
Yeah, man. See, if you don't follow the covenant, right? That marriage contract, right? That spiritual relationship, right? The Most High is going to curse you, destroy you and your children, and he even might take your life, man. Read on.
God. Verse 11. Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law.
His what?
His daughter-in-law.
Read on.
Remain a widow at thy father's house till Shelah, my son, be grown. For he said, lest peradventure he die also,
Read on.
as his brethren did.
As his what?
Brethren did.
Read on.
And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house.
And her what?
Father's house.
Read on.
Verse 12. In the process of time, the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died.
Judah's wife died. Read on.
And Judah was comforted and went up into his sheep shearers to Timnath. He and his friend Hira, the Adullamite.
The Adullamite, right? That's that Hira dude, right? Drop down. Give me verse 16.
Come, verse 16.
Salaga, give me verse 14. You can start at verse 14, bro, for sure.
Verse 14. And she put her widow's garment off from her.
All right, this is Tamar, correct?
Right.
All right, so Judah married this. This is talking about Judah's descendants, right? He caught this bride named Tamar, right? Read on. 14.
Come. And covered her with a veil.
Covered her with a veil. Read on.
And wrapped herself and sat in an open place.
And then what?
In an open place.
Read on.
Which is by the way of Timnath.
Read on, sir.
For she saw that Shelah was grown and was not given unto him to wife.
Read on.
Verse 15. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be an harlot.
He thought her to be a what?
An harlot.
A what?
An harlot.
What's another word for harlot?
Whore.
What's another word for whore?
Prostitute.
A prostitute, man. All right. This is Judah's descendants. This is Judah's wicked sin. Okay. It's another metaphor for you, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. Read on.
Because she have covered her face.
She had did what?
Covered her face.
Yeah, she covered her face, man. All right. When you cover your face, man, you can be mistaken for a harlot, man, for a prostitute, man. Read on.
Verse 16. And he turned unto her by the way and said, go to, I pray thee.
Go to what?
Go to, I pray thee.
Read on.
Let me come in unto thee.
It's lucky a black man, Hispanic man. Y'all know what that means, man. He making a covenant with this woman named Tamar because he thinks that she's a prostitute, man, a harlot, man. So we're not allowed to sleep with whores, correct, sir?
Right.
Read on.
For he knew not, Salakia, for he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law.
So here it is, right? He didn't know that this is his daughter-in-law, the sister Tamar, right? Who was dressed, right, covered up with in her face, and he mistook her for a prostitute, man. This is Judah, man. Read on.
And she said, what wilt thou give me that thou mayest come in unto me?
Man, even prostitutes ask for dowries, man. Read on.
Verse 17. And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock.
A kid from the what?
Flock.
Read on.
And she said, wilt thou give me a pledge till thou send it?
Meaning an oath, right? Read on.
Verse 18. And he said, what pledge shall I give thee?
What?
What pledge shall I give thee?
Read on.
And she said, thy signet.
Thy what?
Signet.
Thy what?
Signet.
Thy what?
Signet.
Read on.
And thy bracelet.
And thy what?
Bracelet.
Read on.
And thy staff.
And thy what?
And thy staff.
Read on.
That is in thine hand.
That is what?
In thy hand.
Bring it on home, sir.
And he gave it to her.
And he did what?
Gave it to her.
Man, Judah gave into this daughter-in-law of his, who he mistakenly, right, misunderstood her as for a harlot, man. Read on.
God. And came in unto her.
And did what?
Came in unto her.
And he married her that day, man. Read on.
And she conceived by him.
And she did what?
Conceived by him.
So you got a precept for that, sir? You'll bring down the signet for time's sake, right? Let me highlight. I think the precept is 2nd Esdras, chapter 10, verse 23.
God.
Right? I'll read it. I'll highlight it for you, right? This is the book of Genesis,
I'm
chapter.
gonna go to the scripture.
Come.
All right, man, Salakia.
And he said, what pledge shall I give thee? And she said, thy signet, man. All right. And understand that, for time's sake, right? Understand what a signet is, man. Understand that this cuts out anyone who tries to combat our shield of David, man. Our shield, thou would die, man. Right? Read on.
Hold on, let me get there.
It should be in the Apocrypha, right? The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 10, verse 23. Let me get there with you. Salakia. I'll drop my soul. Second Esdras, chapter 10, verse 23.
God, 2nd Esdras, chapter 10, verse 23. And which is the greatest of all? The seal of Zion have now lost her honor.
The seal of Zion, man. This is it right here, man. This is the Dawadah, man. That's it. It is right here behind me, man.
Right.
Our crest, man. Okay, read on.
For she is now delivered into the hands of them that hate us.
Into the hands of what?
Of them that hate us.
Drop that. Give me verse. Give me Salaki. Give me the book of 1 Kings. The 1 Kings chapter 28, verse 8.
God.
Let me get there with you.
(28 and 8).
1 Kings chapter 21, verse 8.
21 verse 8.
Right.
First Kings chapter 21, verse 8. So she wrote letters in Ahab's name and sealed them with his seal, and sent the letters unto the elders and to the nobles that were in his city, dwelling in Naboth.
That's it.
Verse 9.
That was it on that, right?
Go on.
All right. Now give me the book of Psalms, right? You know, them Christians, they love Psalms, right? They love the book of Psalms, right? Give me the book of Psalms, chapter 47. Chapter 47, verse 9, Baba Shaw.
Go on.
Any questions online?
La'a.
Any questions in the room?
La'a.
All right. The book of Psalms, chapter 47, verse 9. It's very important, man. It's very heavy, man. You have to know your heritage. You have to know your true identity. Understand? Black man, Hispanic man, Native American man, so-called black woman, Hispanic woman, Native American woman, right? You have to know your identity. You have to know the contracts, man. It's just not the law class. It was not written aforetime, was written for our learning, right? You have to keep the law. You have to go back to the root, man. You have to unlearn everything you think you know and come back to the most high power, man. Or else you'll just be in harlot. You'll be in prostitute. All right. Look at our people destroyed for lack of knowledge out there in the world today. Read.
Come. Psalms chapter 47, verse 9. The princes of the people are gathered together.
Or what?
Gathered together.
Read on.
Even the people of the Most High of Abraham.
Of the Most High what?
Of Abraham.
And that's the progenitor, man. That is the root right there, man. Read on.
For the shields.
For the what?
Shields.
For the what?
Shields.
Read on.
Of the earth belong unto the Most High.
And that's that signet, man, that Tamar asked for of Judah, man. The shield of Israel, man. Read on.
He is greatly exalted.
Give me the book of Esther. The book of Esther, chapter 8, verse 8, Baba Kishore. We're gonna get down, right? For time's sake, I'll give it to you, right? So that we can go on with the topic, right? That's why Israel should stop being a prostitute, should stop being a harlot, should stop transgressing the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, the book of Esther, chapter 8, verse 8, Baba Kishore.
God. Esther chapter 8, verse 8. Write ye also for the Jews, as it liketh you, and the king's name, and seal it with the king's ring.
And do what?
Seal it with the king's ring.
Read on.
For the writing which is written in the king's name, and sealed with the king's ring.
With the what?
King's ring.
Read on.
May no man reverse.
May no man reverse, man. Hey, big up the priest and also of 50 Paratazar out of Yonkers, man.
That's right.
All right. Who brought out yesterday, right, that the Pharaoh gave my forefather Joseph his signet, man, his ring.
Right.
All right. So read that again, Baba Kishore.
God. Esther chapter 8, verse 8. Write ye also for the Jews.
For the who?
Jews.
For the blacks.
Jews.
For the Hispanics.
Jews.
For the Native American Indian.
Jews.
Read on.
As it liketh you.
I said what?
Liketh you.
Read on.
In the king's name.
And the what?
King's name.
Read on.
And seal it with the king's ring.
And seal it with what?
The king's ring.
Read on.
For the writing which is written in the king's name.
Read on.
And seal with the king's ring. May
Bring it
no
home.
man reverse.
May what?
No man reverse.
Hey, drop that. Give me the book of Revelations, man. The book of Revelations, chapter 7, verse 2, Baba Kishore. This is all what Tamar asked for, man. This is the Shield of David breakdown, right? The book of Revelations, chapter 7, verse 2, Baba Kishore.
Revelation chapter 7, verse 2. And I saw another angel ascending.
Another what?
And I saw another angel ascending from the east.
And we and Black, Hispanic, Native Americans pray towards what?
The east.
Read on.
Having the seal of the living power.
Having the what?
The seal of the living power.
That's that shield right here, man. All right, that's that shield right here, right behind me, man. All right, read on.
And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea.
To whom what?
To whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea.
Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, you was given dominion, right, over the fowls of the air, of the sea, and the land, man. Read on.
Verse 3. Saying, hurt not the earth.
Hurt not the what?
The earth.
Man, read on.
Neither the sea.
Neither the what?
The sea.
Read on.
Nor the trees.
Read on.
Till we have sealed with servants. So like until we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads.
The seal of our power in their foreheads, man. The seal is that contract, man. It's that covenant, man. You got to come back to the Lord's statutes and commandments, man. Stop being a harlot, black man, Hispanic man, Native woman, and child. All right? Your kids will be accursed because you don't keep the Lord's statutes and commandments, man. Are we under grace? Damn right. Damn right. Paul said, should we sin because we're under grace? God forbid. I'm paraphrasing. All right, this ain't over, Israel. We are in the midst of World War III. It is time for us to stop being destroyed for lack of knowledge. It's time for us to return to the old path. You got a question, sir?
I have a question by Rakita. Salakia, pick me. Salakia, sir. Salakia. Hold on, let me put this up.
Hey, shout out to Rakita Pickney, man. Most High in Christ, man. Read on.
Salakia, sir, I'm not sure if you've already gone over this, but why did Tamara cover herself?
Oh, Most High in Christ. We're going to get into it. Read on.
Gone.
You said Tamara or Tamar?
Salakia. No, that's Salakia. That's Tamar.
Tamar.
Gone.
Oh, no sweat. Read on.
Revelation chapter 7, verse 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000.
There were what?
144,000.
And if we could, if so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native American man come back to the Lord's statutes and commandments, man, there will be 144,000 out of the 12 tribes, man. That will be the elect when our King Yahushua cracks that sky open, and we shall rule the earth, man.
Right.
Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, we gotta stop being prostitutes, man. We gotta stop being harlots. We gotta stop prostituting our women, our daughters. They are a heritage unto the Most High Power, man. Any more than that?
Of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
Of what?
Of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
Hey, drop that. Give me the book of Amos, Baba Kishore. The book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 26. All right, we're going to keep going on with the topic for time's sake. Should be at 7:15. The book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 26, Baba Kishore.
Gone. Amos chapter 5, verse 26. But ye have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch.
Of what?
Of your Moloch.
You hear that, you fake Israelite groups? Read on.
And chewing your images.
And what?
And chewing your images.
Read on.
Chewing your images. The star of your power, Slakia, The star of your God,
The star of what?
your God,
Or the star of your adulterousness. Most High in Christ. Hey, shalom, y'all, Bashim, y'all, Shabbat. Hey, good to see you, priest. This is the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 26, from the top. But ye have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch, and chewing, and your images, and star of your power, right? Of your God, right? I mean, not the God of Israel, not the God of so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, man, which he made to yourselves, man.
right.
So when you serve these other gods, right? When you go into adultery, when you go into your lusts and you transgress the laws, man, this is what it means by which ye made to yourselves, man.
Right.
All right, you can drop that. Give me the book of Acts, Baba Kashaw, in the New Testament, the book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 34.
Con.
I have more as far as the shield and the signet that Tamar asked for. Understand? Who's that? Who's Adrian Johnson? Who was that? Who was that asked that question, Baba Kashaw?
Con, that was Salakia. That was Raketa
Pickney, right?
Con.
Most High in Christ. Shout out to you, sis. The water for participating. Like, share, and subscribe. Sign the sign-in sheet, Baba Kashaw.
Acts chapter 7, verse 34. I have seen the affliction of my people.
I have seen the what?
The affliction of my people,
Read on.
Which is in Egypt.
Which is in what?
Egypt.
Read on.
Keep on.
Most High in Christ. Which is in Egypt. And I have heard their groaning, and am come down to deliver them. And now come, I will send thee into Egypt, man. Egypt was the land of our captivity. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, right? Okay. I have seen, and I have seen the affliction, right? The transgression, right? The oppression of my people, of you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, right? Which is in Egypt, right? Egypt was our land of our captivity, right? Egypt is bondage, right? Today is current day Babylon, right? Spiritual Babylon.
Right.
And I have heard their groaning, right? I have heard their cries. I have heard their afflictions, right? And come down to deliver them, right? Meaning to save them for their transgressions.
Right.
Right. Read on.
And now come.
And now what?
And now come.
Read on.
I will send thee into Egypt.
I will send thee back into captivity, man.
Right.
Drop that. Let's go back to the matter of fact, you can drop that for now. So I think that's enough as far as the signet.
Come on.
Right. You can drop that. Give me the book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 6.
Come on.
For time's sake, Baba, sure. All right. Hey, big ups, Salakia. Matter of fact, give me the book of Judges. Give me the book of Judges, chapter 11, Baba Kashaw. Right. Big ups to Alawat Muhammad, man.
That's right.
All right. Alawat Muhammad brought out something heavy in his classes, man, when he said, when we stop loving whores, right? When we stop loving prostitutes, loving harlots, right? There will be no more whores. There will be no more prostitution.
Right.
Right. There will be no more OnlyFans.
Right.
There will be no more booty shorts.
Right.
Right. There will be no more twerking on TikTok.
Right.
Right. There will be what?
Right.
No more transgression.
Right.
There will be no more spiritual wickedness.
Battling your wife to put on something, to dress it, to cover herself.
No more battling your rib from putting on provocative clothing, man. Read on.
God. Judges chapter 11, verse 1. Salakia, let me put this on
Go
the
ahead,
screen.
sir.
Now, Jephthah the Gileadite was a mighty man of valor.
Well, so what?
Mighty man of valor.
Now Jephthah, right? Jephthah is he's a special character here in this Bible, man. He's a prominent figure here in the scriptures. Read on.
And he was born, Salakia, and he was the son of an harlot.
He was a son of what?
An harlot.
A harlot, man. A prostitute, man. Jephthah was the son of a prostitute, man. Read on.
And in Gilead,
And what?
and Gilead
Read on.
begat Jephthah.
Began Jephthah, right? Now, Jephthah means in Hebrew, right, is Yah-Pathak, right? That is Jephthah in the Hebrew. Yah-Pathak, okay? And it means to open or to release, man. Read on.
Verse 2. And Gilead's wife bare him sons.
And Gilead's what? What?
Bare him sons.
So the son of a prostitute, right, had a wife, and she bare him 2 sons, right? Read on.
God. Salakia. Salakia. And his wife's sons grew up, and they thrust out Jephthah, and said unto him, Thou shalt not inherit in our father's house.
Thou shalt do no what?
Thou shalt not inherit in our father's house.
This is how serious it is, man. Back in Jephthah's days, man, if you was the son of a harlot, man, you was X'd out of here, man.
Right.
All right. We ain't want none of that extra strings attached or nothing, man. Read on.
Now, Salak, if I may keep in mind that Jephthah, he's the firstborn son of his father.
Right.
So when his father died, he's supposed to get the inheritance.
That's correct, sir.
Right.
Read on.
Thou shalt not inherit in our father's house, for thou art the son of a strange woman.
Over what?
Strange woman.
And if you're out there, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, committing adultery, right, being a prostitute, right, asking yourself if you can't make yourself, you can make a hoe into a housewife, right? Read on.
Verse 3. Then Jephthah fled from his brethren and dwelt in the land of Tob. And there were gathered vain men to Jephthah.
They will gather vain men to Jephthah. Sluggy. All right. There's a Jephthah inside of each black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man,
Right.
man. All right. You can drop down, sir. Drop down to where he when Israel asked for him to come back. Slakia.
God.
It's before chapter. We're right in the middle. It's like it's before. I think it's chapter 12. Was Ephraim and Jephthah, man. Jephthah united with the northern kingdom, right? As you already know, right? Ephraim was the head of the northern kingdom. You understand? Read on.
When you want to come back, Salaki, that will be
When he asked for him,
verse 6. And they said
Right.
unto Jephthah, Come and be our captain.
and be our what?
Our captain,
Meaning our leader, man, our shepherd, man. Read on.
that we may fight with the children of Ammon.
Now, if you know anything about the scriptures, the children of Ammon are the so-called Japanese today, man. Read on.
Verse 7. And Jephthah said unto the elders of Gilead,
Of what?
Gilead,
Read on.
did not ye hate me?
Did not you what?
Hate me?
Read on.
And expel me out of my father's house?
So this is him going back to Israel, right? They expelled Jephthah, man.
Right.
They expelled Jephthah. They disowned Jephthah for being the son of a harlot, man.
Right.
This is all metaphoric, okay? Israel, read on.
Slakia. And why are ye come unto me?
And why are you what?
Come unto me.
Meaning, why are you beseeching me, man? Read on.
Now, when ye are in distress.
Now, when you are in need, man.
Right.
When you need somebody, man. Read on.
Right. Verse 8. And the elders of Gilead said unto Jephthah,
So here it is, man. You know, when they're in trouble, they call on to this brother, man. Read
Right.
on.
therefore we turn again to see now,
To see what?
to see now,
Read on.
that thou mayest go with us,
That they be what?
mayest go with us,
Read on.
and fight against the children of Ammon,
And fight against the so-called Japanese, man. Read on.
and be our head,
And be our what?
head,
Be our head, man. Read on.
over all the inhabitants of Gilead.
Over all the inhabitants of Gilead. Read on.
Verse 9. And Jephthah said unto the elders of Gilead, if he bring me home again to fight against the children of Ammon,
Against the children of the so-called Japanese. Read on.
and the Most High deliver them before me,
Meaning he bring them at your doorstep. Read on.
shall I be your head?
Shall I be your head, man? He's asking the Gileadites this question, man. Read on.
Verse 10. And the elders of Gilead said unto Jephthah, the Most High be witness between us, if we do not so according to thy words.
According to thy words, man. Read on.
Verse 11. Then Jephthah went with the elders of Gilead,
Read on.
and the people made him head and captain over them.
Made him a head, man. Made him that shepherd, man. Made him a leader, man. All right. When the Lord is with you, man, there is nothing stopping you, man. The Lord is with you, man. The Lord was with my forefather Joseph in Egypt, man, and his captivity, man. The Lord is with those who have heard their calling and came into the ISUPK under commanding General Yohana here in our Babylonian captivity.
Right.
You understand? You can drop this, sir, for time's sake. Give me the book of Exodus. Right?
God.
Matter of fact, give me the book of Leviticus again. Leviticus 19, verse 29, Bible sure.
God.
All right. Since Israel is fruitful, Salakia.
Salaki, repeat that scripture again.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 29, Bible sure.
God.
I'll get there with you. It's like I don't have my 16:11. All right, the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 20, Bible sure.
29.
Con 19, verse 29. The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 29.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 29. Do not prostitute thy daughter.
Do not what?
Prostitute thy daughter,
Read on.
to cause her to be a whore.
To cause her to be a what?
Whore.
Meaning a harlot, man. Meaning a disgusting, filthy transgressor of the law, statutes, and commandments, man. Read on.
Lest the land fall into whoredom.
Lest the land do what?
Fall into whoredom.
Any more on that, sir?
And the land become full of wickedness.
And the land become full of wickedness, man. All right, you understand what that is, man. Read on.
Verse 30. Ye shall keep my Sabbaths.
You shall do what?
Keep my Sabbaths.
Read on.
And reverence my sanctuary.
And reverence my sanctuary, man. The ISUPK is the Lord's sanctuary, man.
Right.
All right. Your own temple is the Lord's sanctuary. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. All right, you can drop that. Let's go to the book of Exodus, right? The book of Exodus, chapter 19.
God.
The book of the book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 6, Bible show.
God. Salakia. If I may, we still got to answer the sister's question.
Oh, Khan, I ain't forget about the sister.
Exodus chapter 19, verse 6.
Read on.
And he shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
Read on.
Verse 7. And Moses came and called for the elders of the people.
Salaki, read verse 6 from the top. Baba Kashaw.
Verse 6. And he shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation.
Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Shukta.
These are the words which shall speak unto the children of Israel.
These are the what?
The words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
Read on, sir.
Verse 7. And Moses came and called for the elders of the people and laid before their faces all these words which the Most High commanded him.
Any more on that?
That's it.
Salakia. Read it from the top one more time.
Verse 6.
Exodus chapter 19, verse 6.
Exodus chapter 19, verse 6. And he shall be unto me a kingdom of priests.
And blacks and Hispanics, man. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American men are what?
Kingdom of priests.
Read on.
And an holy nation.
And a what?
Holy nation.
Read on.
These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
Unto the children of Israel, unto the lineage, unto the heritage, man. Unto your babies, unto your children, man. So that you don't be destroyed for lack of knowledge, man. Read on. All right, Salaka, drop that. Let's go back to the book of Deuteronomy, right? Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 17.
Go on.
You can read it when you got it, Bob. Sure.
Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel.
There should be no what?
Whore of the daughters of Israel.
The whores of the daughters of Israel. There shall be no prostitution, man. There should be no hoes, no whores, no harlots of the daughters of Israel, right? Of none of the 12 tribes, the water, sir. Of no OnlyFans, right? No Pornhub. Read on.
Nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
No a homosexual, man. Okay. No a faggot, as they call it today in the world, right? Or a transgender. Read on.
God. Verse 18.
Right.
Thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore.
The what?
The hire of a whore.
The services.
The hire of a whore.
You don't sleep with, you don't pay for pussy, man. Salakia. Read on.
Or the price of a dog.
Oh, the price of a dog, man. And a shameless woman should be counted as a dog, man. A harlot should be counted as a dog, man.
Right.
Read on.
Into the house of the Most High.
Into the sanctuary of the Most High power, man. Into the world of the Most High, man. Read on.
Thy power for any vow.
For any what?
Vow.
Any commitment. Any covenant. Any promise, man. Any more than that?
Con. For even both these are abomination.
Oh, what?
Abomination.
Oh, what?
Abomination.
You don't want to be an abomination, man. You don't want to be a disgusting, filthy prostitute, man. Read on.
Unto the Most High.
Unto what?
The Most High.
Read on.
Con. Verse.
Drop that. Slaga. That you going into verse 19?
You want me to drop it?
You can drop that. Give me the book of Jeremiah, man. Give me the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51. Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 20.
Go on.
You start at verse 20. To 23, Baba Kishore.
Go on.
I try to give it away in the beginning of the class, man. All right. You can read it when you got it, Baba Kishore.
Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war.
Thou art what?
my battle axe and weapons of war.
There you go, man. We are the Most High's battle axe, man, and weapons of war, man. Read on.
For with thee will I break in pieces the nations.
For indeed will you do what?
Break in pieces the nations.
Break the so-called white man. Break the so-called Hamites, man. The Ishmaelites, man. Read on.
And with thee will I destroy
Kingdoms, man. So-called black, Hispanic, and Native American man. The Most High is going to destroy Babylon with you, man. You are his battle axe. You are his weapons of war, man. We can't do that if we're out here being prostitutes. Read on.
God. Verse 21. And with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider.
The what?
Horse and his rider.
That's the kings, man. The kings of the nations and his minions, man. Read on.
And with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider.
The what?
And with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider.
That's pretty much explanatory, man. Any more on that? You can drop that, man. Give me the book of Isaiah. The book of Isaiah. Right, Isaiah was a heavy prophet, man. Book of Isaiah, chapter 45. Right, chapter 45, verse 19. Let's lock it. They go hand in hand, man, Isaiah and Jeremiah. All right. That's something you want to put down in your notes. Book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 19. So lock it, verse 17. You start at verse 17.
Isaiah chapter 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Most High with an everlasting salvation.
But so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indian men should do what?
Shall be saved in the Most High with an everlasting salvation.
Shall be saved in everlasting salvation, man. We cannot be saved if we're out here transgressing the laws and putting idols and fitting into our lusts, man. We cannot be harlots. We cannot be prostitutes, Israel. Read on.
Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
World without end. Read on.
Verse 19. Slakia. Verse 18. For thus saith the Most High that created the heavens, the Most High himself that formed the earth and made it. He have established it. He created it, not in vain.
Not in what?
Vain.
Read on.
He formed it to be inhabited.
Inhabited. Read on.
I am the Most High.
I am the what?
The Most High.
I am the what?
The Most High.
Read on.
And there is none else.
And there is no else, man. There is no Baal, man. There is no other gods. There is no other lust, man. All right. Israel has time and time again been destroyed to the four corners of the earth, right? We've been destroyed to the point where we're destroyed for lack of knowledge. You understand? Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. We're at the bottom of the barrel to the point where we hate each other. There is no brotherhood.
Right.
Our history is gone. Our seal has gone astray. Our identity, our culture, our heritage, our laws, statutes, and commandments. You know why? Because we've been prostitutes.
Right.
Because we've been harlots.
Right.
Read on.
Verse 19. I have not spoken in secret.
Of course not. Because if you understand anything about scripture, you understand that from the beginning of time until the present moment, all prophecy has been fulfilled, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. These scriptures don't lie, man. Read on.
In a dark place of the earth.
And a what?
Dark place of the earth.
Read on.
I said, not unto the seed of Jacob, seek ye me in vain.
Seek ye me what?
In vain.
Seek me ye in vain, man. The seed of Jacob is you, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. Stop being a harlot, man. Hosea and Gomer was metaphorical, man. Read on.
I, the Most High, speak righteousness.
Speak what?
Righteousness.
Speak blasphemies.
Righteousness.
Speak adulterousness.
Righteousness.
Speak idolatry.
Righteousness.
Speak transgression. Read on.
Salaki, I got a comment from the sister Adrian. She says,
Yeah.
I am offended. What is the reason you are doing these offensive classes?
Sister Adrian Johnson.
Right.
No sweat. All right, I'll comment on midget sister. Big ups to Adrian, Sister Adrian Johnson, man. Sister Adrian Johnson has been 10 toes down. She is tuning in on the slate, right? So on segment 11, right, of the scriptures, right, of the God-fearing women of the scripture series, right? I don't know what is offensive to you. I don't understand what went on in your mind where you lost context, right? So we brought out the story of Hosea, right? Hosea, the book of Hosea, right? The prophet Hosea and his wife Gomer, right? So the Most High Power, Sister Adrian Johnson, right? Sister Adrian Johnson, the Most High Power, you know, in the book of Hosea is a metaphoric lesson to be learned, because Hosea was a picture perfect image of our power, who we fear, right? Yahweh, right? The power of Israel. You understand? And his wife Gomer would be Israel. You understand? Which would be Israel is the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. That's John 3:16, man. John 3:16, the world of the Most High Power is the 12 tribes of Israel. You understand? So Gomer, in metaphoric terms, will be the 12 tribes of Israel, right? So Gomer was promiscuous, right? His Hosea's wife Gomer was promiscuous. She would commit adultery and sleep with other men, right? And that's what Israel has done, right? Sister Adrian Johnson, right? Israel has transgressed the law, statutes, and commandments, has broken the covenant of our power, right? And our nation as a whole has been, once again, if you listen to Commander General Yohana's dialogue with Sonetta, right? Commander General Yohana even said that Israel, the Most High Power, beat Israel to piss, right? He shed us. He spreaded us out through the four corners of the earth. He gave us unto our enemies, right? Whose language we knew not. Okay, and we find ourselves here in the last days, right? In the beginning of sorrows, right? In the midst of World War III, right? Coming back to the Most High Power, right? The 12 tribes of Israel was as a harlot, right? Our first husband was the Most High Power, right? Israel was in a covenant, in a conventional relationship with the Most High, right? Thou shalt not serve any gods other than me, for the Most High Power is a jealous God. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not lay with mankind as with womankind. All right. So the whole theme of segment 11 was, you know, as I stated in the beginning of the class, right? You can't make a hoe into a housewife, right? And the 12 tribes of Israel has been harlots and prostitutes, transgressing the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High Power, all right? But to answer your question in context, right? Give me the book of Isaiah, right? Well, we're in Isaiah, right? Read on, Salakia, read on. We was already getting down to the point, sis. Read on.
Isaiah chapter 45, verse 18 from the top. For thus saith the Most High, that have
Salakia, verse 17.
Gone, verse 17.
That was the answer to the sister's question.
Gone. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved.
But who?
But Israel.
But so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians do what?
shall be saved,
Shall do what?
saved
Read on.
in the Most High,
And the what?
Most High,
Read on.
with an everlasting salvation.
With an everlasting what?
Salvation.
Read on.
Ye shall not be ashamed,
You shall not be ashamed, man, for keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, man. Read on.
nor confounded,
Nor what?
confounded,
Nor confused. Read on.
world without end.
World without end, man. And the breakdown to that, Sister Adrian Johnson, right, is the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 21. You got that, sir?
God.
The book of Acts in the New Testament. The book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 21. Let me get there with you.
Acts chapter 2, verse 21. And it shall come to pass.
And it shall do what?
Come to pass.
It shall do what?
Come to pass.
You hear this, Sister Adrian Johnson? Read on.
That whosoever shall call on the name of the Most High.
That whosoever do what?
Call on the name of the Most High.
That whosoever is you, Sister Adrian Johnson, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian woman and child, read on,
shall be saved.
shall do what?
Saved.
No, be harlots.
Saved.
No, transgress the law.
Saved.
Read on.
Verse 22. Ye men of Israel.
Ye women of Israel.
Ye men of Israel.
Ye sisters of Israel.
Ye men of Israel.
Ye God-fearing women of Israel. Read on.
Hear these words.
Hear these what?
Words.
Read on.
Yahweh Shai of Nazareth.
Yahweh Shai what?
Nazareth.
That's our king, man. Read on.
A man approved of the Most High.
A what?
A man approved of the Most High.
No, a God.
A man approved of the Most High.
A prophet.
A man approved of the Most High.
No, a messenger.
A man approved of the Most High.
Read on.
Among you.
A what?
Among you.
Read on.
By miracles and wonders and signs.
By what?
Miracles and wonders and signs.
Read on.
Which the Most High did by him in the midst of you.
In the midst of who?
You.
Read on.
As ye yourselves also know.
As he's your what?
Also know.
Read on.
Verse 23. Him being delivered by the determinate counsel.
Determined counsel. Read on.
And for determined counsel and for knowledge of the Most High.
And for knowledge of the Most High power. Read on.
Ye have taken.
Ye have what?
Taken.
Read on.
And by wicked hands.
And by what?
Wicked hands.
See, when you transgress the law, statutes, and commandments, Sister Adrian Johnson, you have wicked hands. You don't love the Most High. Read on.
Have crucified and slain.
And have what?
Crucified and slain.
Just like them goddamn Edomites, right? Them devils did our king on the cross, right? Any more on that? Read verse 24.
Verse 24. Whom the Most High have raised up.
Who the Most High has what?
Raised up.
So there you go, sis. Read on.
Having loosed the pains of death.
The pains of what?
Death.
Read on.
Because it was not possible that he should be holding of it.
He should be holding of it. And it's not possible for so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Indian men, women, and children to be harlots. All right. So if you claim you love God, you keep the law, statutes, and commandments, man. This is the law class.
Right.
All right. This is Wednesday. Law class, man. And you cannot be a prostitute. You cannot be a Gomar. All right. Hosea was a picture-perfect depiction of the Most High Power's love to keep coming back to Gomar, man. But as Gomar was promiscuous, right? Meaning committing adulterous acts, right? Which deserve death in our law, statutes, and commandments, in our heritage, right? As Israelites, right? You deserve death. That's a capital offense. If you've been following the series so far, you know that the Most High Power and his nation and his world and his people, his chosen, we don't stand for adultery.
Right.
We don't stand for transgression of the law, man.
Right.
Can you make a law? Can you make Salakia? Can you make a whore into a housewife? Absolutely. Big up Commandant Jerry Hanna. All right. All those men, all those priests and prophets under Commanding General Yohana and under the ISUPK banner, they were whores. They were prostitutes. They were the brim of the brim transgressors. They were your so-called stick-up kids. All right. What the world, the so-called world, right, rejected. Right. And we're still in captivity. And we shed ourselves from the world. And we heard the Lord calling us out the world. And we became priests and prophets of the Most High Power to edify sisters like you, Sister Adrian Johnson, and our people in the Valley of Dry Bones. There is no other prostitute, right, or harlot, or in the whoredoms, right, that transgress the law like the Northern Kingdom, the so-called blacks, right, the so-called Hispanics, right. Those are your northern tribes. The head tribe of the Northern Kingdom was the Ephraimites, all right. In the time of the Assyrians, it was King Hosea. You understand? So if you find this offensive, right, then you have to study to show yourself approved. I don't know. I do not understand where it went wrong, right? But I am on context. You understand? I hope that answers your question. All right, back to the question of what's that other sister's name? Salakia.
Rakita Pigney, Salakia. She has a two-part question.
The first
question was, Salakia said, I'm not sure. Salakia, if you already have gone over this, but why did Tamar cover herself? Then she goes to say,
Most High in Christ. Okay, what was the second part?
Then she says, Salakia, sir, I guess I meant to ask why her father-in-law.
Why her father? You got to read okay, no sweat. You got to read, that was Genesis 38, right? Judah, right? You got to read it for time's sake, right? The notes was the book of Hosea, Sister Adrian Johnson, right? Hosea was a picture of God, all right, of our Most High, right? Yahweh in the Hebrew, and Gomer, his wife, right, who was a prostitute, right, will be considered our people, Israel, right? And Gomer, right, being a prostitute, being a harlot, right, she transgressed the law, statutes, and commandments, and that's what the 12 tribes of Israel did. You understand? So the Most High beseeched the prophet Hosea to, even though that his wife was a harlot, to keep going and loving his wife Gomer. Do you understand? Eventually he divorced her. Just like eventually the Most High Power destroyed the 12 tribes of Israel. Do you understand? All right. And then the next one was Genesis chapter 38, right? That was Judah's wickedness, right? So to answer the other sister's question, right? She hid herself so that Judah, right, wouldn't recognize her, right? And in order for you to understand the context, right, you will have to go to the book of Genesis chapter 38, right, on your own time. And the last one was the book of Judges, right, chapter 11, right, which was Jephthah, Yapathak in the Hebrew, right, which means to open or to release. You understand? Any more on that? Any other questions in the room? Any questions online? On the YouTube? On the Facebook?
Everything is
Most High in Christ. Salaka Israel. That's our time. All right. The water for chiming in. Like, share, and subscribe. Sign the shining sheet, Baba Kashaw. All right. I'm Priest Nosa of 500. Y'all was Sap Ya Allah out of One West headquarters. And I'll now pass the class over to Priest and also 500. Sha'al.
Clap it up for the class.
Most High in Christ. You can play that, sir.
Got the devil in your eyes. You went and took me by surprise. Say what you wanna say, I won't go back. what it really means to live like golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. Yeah, about to see it shine, cause we're golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. Yeah, about to see us glow, cause we're golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. Yeah, about to see us shine, cause we're golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. Yeah, about to see us glow, cause we're golden. Got the devil in your eyes. Went into me, my surprise. Say what you wanna say, I won't go back. If you wanna hit the road, then let's go then. Let's just go and see the world and just show them what it really means to live like golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. Yeah, about to see it shine, cause we're golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. Yeah, about to see us glow, cause we're golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. Yeah, about to see it shine, cause we're golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. Yeah, about to see us glow, cause we're golden. Got the devil in your eyes. Went into me, my surprise. Say what you wanna say, I won't go back. If you wanna hit the road, then let's go then. Let's just go and see the world and just show them what it really means to live like golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. Yeah, about to see it shine, cause we're golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. Yeah, about to see us glow, cause we're golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. Yeah, about to see it shine, cause we're golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. Yeah, about to see us glow, cause we're golden. Got the devil in your eyes. Went into me, my surprise. Say what you wanna say, I won't go back. If you wanna hit the road, then let's go then. Let's just go and see the world and just show them what it really means to live like golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. Yeah, about to see it shine, cause we're golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. Yeah, about to see us glow, cause we're golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. Yeah, about to see it shine, cause we're golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. Yeah, about to see us glow, cause we're golden.
Only two things are forever: